Hey guys, welcome back to yet another Swift programming tutorial. In this one, we're going to be taking a look at how we can use UIKit elements in SwiftUI. So as you can see, I have opened up a new project called UIKit in SwiftUI. While creating it, just make sure that the user interface is set to SwiftUI and not the storyboard. So this is the area where we give all the code, and this is the struct where we have this variable body, and in that body is where all our elements are going to lie. One thing you're going to have to keep in mind is that you can run only one element here, so we can't have like multiple texts or anything like that. We can put everything into a particular stack and then display that stack. So let's get started. So as you can see, here is the preview pane. So if I quickly do some update, make some update, it immediately updates it right there. So what we're going to do is in this one, we're going to be introducing a text view which is not available in Swift UI. So if you try typing something like text um, view, you'll see we only have a UI text view and not something that is meant for Swift UI production. So what we're going to do is we're going to select content view and create a new file. Make sure it's a Swift UI view, or you can actually make it a Swift file, doesn't really matter. I just go with this. I'm just going to call this text view, just like that. So as you can see, we have a new file right here, and instead of this, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this entire body, and instead of view, what we're going to show is a UI view representable. So what this basically does is that this is now representing a UI view, a UI element. You should just keep in mind the text views are also UI views that can do like special things. At least that's my understanding. Now you might get this error, and do not click on this. You're going to get this weird thing which I don't know how to deal with, nor do you. So what you're going to quickly do is just type in make UI view. Now it's going to return some kind of a UI view, but since we know that we want a text view, instead of using this we can just say UI text view, and as you can see we now have a UI text view that we're going to return and not some random view. So now let's just say let text view is going to be a UI text view. Now here we can just do whatever we do normally in UIKit. So we have a text view, and then we can say text view dot text is equal to hello, just like that, and then we can just go ahead and return our valuable text view. Now one function that we need to implement is update UI view. Now that's just to kind of silence this error actually. So as you can see, it is now gone. So let's resume this and see what happens. And as you can see, we have a text view right here, and just gonna run this so that we can interact with this preview pane. It takes a while. Just keep in mind that I'm still using a 2017 MacBook Air, so it is kind of slow. So yeah, there we go. So we can go ahead and type whatever we please, and it updates. So that works. Now what if we wanted to use this in combination with something in our context view? Well, here's a simple solution which I don't is probably there might be better solutions, but I think this is one of the easy ones. So we can basically use this property wrapper called binding, and what this basically does is that it binds, as it says. That's like the most simple way of putting it. So then we can say var, and let's probably just call this text, and it's going to be of type string. Awesome. So now we have this new variable called string. Now what I'm going to do is yeah, right there, we're going to fix this. Now here we need to give a binding string, so we can just give any value. So we can just say dot constant, and now we can give any string value here. For example, let's say my apps are awesome. that's a bad spelling mistake. Awesome. So this is a simple method that we can use. Resume. Okay, cool. So this text really does nothing, as you can see, because we need to put that in here. So we're going to say text view.text is equal to text. So as you can see, this immediately updated here. My apps are awesome. Awesome. Let's keep going. So now we need to use a delegate function if we want to not check when the text field is editing or anything is changing or anything like that. So let's go ahead and implement the delegate function. So UI text view.delegate is equal to self, just like we would do, and we have an error. So the way we actually get around this is not that straightforward, so make sure you pay attention. So we're going to say context, that is this context that we get from here. We're going to access its coordinator, and we need to create a coordinator for the context before we can actually access it. So we'll say func make coordinator, and right now we have no coordinator, so we can't really fill up this function. So let's create it. So let's say class text, or just call this coordinator, just like that. And now is going to inherit from NS object as well as the UI text view delegate. So very important, make sure this is part of your coordinator. Of course, NS object is required. Once that is done, it is actually really simple. Here we just go ahead and say coordinator, and then we can just give a coordinator, basically return the coordinator, and yeah, so far everything is simple. So we're going to create a parent here. So let's say parent, just like that, and it's going to be of type text view, just like that. So this text view struct that we have here, that is what is down here as well. So next, let's go ahead and initialize this class so that we can actually make use of it. So we'll have a parent which is going to be of type text view, and then we'll say self dot parent is equal to parent. Now that that is done, here we need to actually initialize this. So dot init, and that's going to be self. So now we have our coordinator, and here is where we can have all our delegate methods. So for example, we can have our text view did change. Now this is a function that we can use very nicely. We're going to say parent dot text. Now remember, when we're accessing the text, it is this binding variable up here. Now remember that text view is of type UI view representable, and we need to add these kind of properties to it. It's going to be a UI text view, and it's text that we basically inherit from this one. So I believe our text view is we have finished making that. Now if we do have any error, we'll get around that. So let's create a variable here, maybe call it my text. It's going to be a string, and now it's going to be some random text. Why the exclamation mark? So yeah, that is good enough. So now let's move on. Here we're going to use a text view, our text view that we just created, and we can give in a text, and that's going to be our my text. Now because this requires a binding string, we're going to have to use this $sign before it so that it works properly. Okay, cool. So now let's just add in probably a VStack. Awesome. I could have just command click, but whatever. We can just add in a text again, a normal text, and here we can just say my text is, and then we can have my text right here. Since it does not require a bindable binding string, we can just give it directly like this. So let's quickly resume and see that this works exactly the way we want it to work. So as you can see, this actually is working, and we do have our UI created. I believe it is loaded, and it has. So as you can see, as I'm actually typing here, you can see it is actually updating in our UI. So let's say subscribe to my channel for more amazing amazing content. So as you can see here, a cool thing about SwiftUI is that it's actually automatically coming to the next line, and we didn't really use any constraints at all. As you can see, we just returned a VStack that contains these elements, and it's actually doing it all by itself. Now if we were in UIKit, we would have to use that did set and then go through all those nitty-gritties, and now we're just simply just using bindables and state properties, what is it called? I'll get to that. I forgot. So yeah, like that, we can easily connect things up in our UI and have these kind of functions. So I guess that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you have any questions, make sure to tell me in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer it. And before we part, please subscribe and like to my channel, and I'll see you guys all next time. Stay safe and happy. Bye.